All right, so I figured there's you guys. I should probably give you all an update or whatnot. Plus, address a couple things. And yeah, I want to get back into shooting some shit. I said I posted on Facebook the other day that I have some stuff to talk about. I actually have a decent amount of stuff to talk about. Some of them are, I think, like two or three of the topics out of like maybe like five are like really small. So I figured I'd go ahead and I need time to sit down and think, and like I've ran it on a bunch of times before. I don't really have time during the week to sit down and do that. So I'm just gonna we're already at the weekend at this point, so I'm just gonna wait till I get home, and then I'm gonna decide whether I'm gonna put some of these things together and have like a multiple topic short video that's medium or whatnot, because some of these things, some stuff I want to touch on that could potentially only run for like 5 minutes, and I'm not Chael Sonnen. I don't do 5 minute uploads. That'd be weird. I mean, I don't want to start spitting out a whole bunch of 5 minute uploads. So just to say, like, there's some people that have DM'd me recently that have talked about the whole my situation with the work. My boss did talk to me. He pulled me aside on Wednesday and he said, "Hey, look, man, I talked to HR. What's up, James? Appreciate it." And so boss went to bat for me with HR, and he talked to him, and he's like, he said he went like off the records, making contact with some of the people he knows, and he said that I'm not on the ropes apparently. Like, I was actually even pending a suspension. I don't know if I threw that out there when I was talking about it last time, but I was pending a 3-day suspension. Now that's gone. It's gone away, and also. So even though it was a safety violation, it's still apparently safety has its own like breakdowns in it within itself, little things. So uh, I'm not like pending a fucking termination on my next one. I would have to have two more in each category of the things I've been in trouble for recently to be gone. Now, one of you guys mentioned like, oh, just keep your head down and stay at your job and look for another job. That's what I've been doing. I've kept my fucking head down and I'm looking for another job. But the problem is the job I'm looking for is VHP Engines. I really want that to be the other job. I don't want to bounce from Ryder to another company. I want to do the solo thing. I want to be, when I'm done, I'm going solo. And I've mentioned, like a year or two that I think I can do that. And it got to the point where I mean, look, I am down to go to another place, but there's just nowhere I'm going to go to right now. There's nobody that's come up with an offer right now that I would be comfortable going to that's also in South Florida. Like, I'm not, like, one of you guys jumped on here and mentioned binning and like contractor work, the Humvees and shit like that. I wouldn't mind doing that at all. Like, if the pay at least matches what I'm getting paid right now, I wouldn't mind doing it. But I can't leave the state. I'm just not gonna, because that will take away from VHP Engines. I'm not doing that again. I really have a clear path to being my own boss, and I've got to stick with it. And the only way I can do that is to stay here. Like, I have to stay here and push it out and grind it out. Now, if it does come to a situation where I have to get another job in South Florida, while I'm still working to get VHP Engines off the ground, then so be it. I'll do that. But I don't want to leave the state again to go to another job. That's only going to be something that's temporary. Eventually, me moving back to South Florida, not happening. I'm not doing that. I promise my wife and I promise myself. So I guess there's some other shit to talk about. Oh yeah, like, so another thing, the reason why I'm so confident, like a year or two, I really don't think it'll take 2 years necessarily. I think it just takes me getting people to have results come back, and the problem is that a lot of people I sell to, which isn't a lot, that most people I go to, come to me for engines, they don't come back to me with results. I've mentioned it a bunch of times, but we're now officially in August. I finished that Vitara build 8 months ago. No word, nothing. Got nothing come back from that yet. On a happier note, was it Edgar said he was dropping off the B20V on the 3rd of this month. Is now we're now hours away from the 2nd, so hopefully anytime soon be getting word back from that, because that's just, I'm not sure if he's just sitting on a block and the guy that he's taking it to is going to assemble the engine the rest of the way and put it in the car. But if that's not the case, if it's already a long block, then we're just looking at an engine swap and then it runs. Now, dyno tuning is a whole nother thing, but at least it'll be running. So results, all right, somewhat results, and that'll be a little bit of footage, and I can have the car running and like, look, there it is. It's not fucking destroyed or whatnot. That's something, that's something in the form of content. Like, hey, this is my engine block running, and then that's another thing we go back to when it comes to the dyno. Now, Roger just DM'd me earlier too. his fucking engine's on the stand. It's got the head bolted onto it. We're getting down to the part where there's not much left to go for his long block to be done, and I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting to hear back from Roger for a long time because of the fact that he's boosting, but this guy's not fucking around, and the engine looks beautiful, man. Like he's got a really nice high end manifold on there, and it looks pretty. And now I'm hyped up. I'm really hyped up to see that run, you know, because you're looking at like if he goes along the lines of what Ivan did, you know, I had multiple videos of Ivan's tune. I think it was like 400 and then maybe like 440 or some shit like that, because he did like a break-in tune for a while. He made his initial power and then he went back and pushed it a little more, and that's, you know, maybe Roger's gonna do that because he's mentioned 450 initially and then 500, you know, is the goal. I don't think that's, you know, that's gonna be a lovely thing. That's I'm looking forward to seeing that. So yeah, so there's those two builds to go off of, and hopefully, you know, like I was expecting my K20, my big boy K20, my 88mm K20 to be done by now, or at least a long block assembled and pending a swap in. But fuck, man, like the machine shop has taken fucking 3 weeks to get back to me, man. Okay, so a week ago, I called him and he was like, oh yeah, like we haven't even got your shit on the chopping block yet because we got a lot of people in front of you. So last time I talked to him a week ago, they haven't even, you know, haven't even touched it. It's sitting in a corner somewhere. So I don't know, man. That makes me think that I might need to find a fucking another machine shop. Like my problem is like this is the only guys that I have locally that everybody goes to. Like I'm talking to Eddie at Genesis. I'm talking to people that I know that does a lot of K builds, and they all go to Redline. They all go to that same shop. Now it's convenient in location for me when it comes to small jobs, like because it's literally on the way to work. Like it's right on the same stretch that I turn off the turnpike. So for little jobs, the machine shop's great. But when it comes to bore and hone, these guys aren't so great. They're backed up. They take their time. Like at this point, I could have sent my fucking shit off to CNC Works with Jeff, and probably already had the CSS done and everything and brought back to me. Anyway, so okay, on another positive note that I didn't tell you guys just yet, not only did the whole thing with my job blow over and turn out to be nothing, you know, the write-up still stands, but no serious consequences from it, just the write-up. The day after that, my wife interviewed for another job, and she got picked up at $18 an hour. So my wife is she just got like a $7,000 annual raise, man. So that's gonna be good. You know, we're like a cunt hair under 6 figures. We're like, I think our household income right now is like 85,000. So so now it looks like my immediate worries for having to find another job are out the fucking window. I don't have to worry about that anymore, and my wife just got a you know, a decent fucking pay raise, and my bank account's looking healthy. You know, rent's pending, but bank account post rent is still looking good. So it seems like now moving into August, I have now 100% recuperated from the Honda Day fiasco, or not fiasco, but my Honda Day vacation and shit. And it seems like me deciding not to go to Tulsa is also going to be better. And like, I was trying to find the good spot to go to Humble Performance between Honda Day and was it SEMA, but it just seems to be like this was the best way to go. Like for me to be 100% ready to go to SEMA, I needed to skip this. Plus I think that like I mentioned before when I talked about changing my plans, that I want to have more things that are recent, that are done under my belt, that are accomplished when I go out there to talk to Humble and them, you know. Whether, like I said in the video when I talked about it, whether it comes up in conversation or not, you know, it's kind of like fighting. You're only good as your last fight. Well, like you know, as far as my building history, I haven't had anything significant done in 2 to 3 years. Nothing that's made any power. So I definitely want to have some shit, you know, where I can point to if it comes up in conversation, or that, you know, at least comes up in Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube or whatnot. So that way people can see that it's been done. So yeah, again, super pumped up for Edgar's build and for Rogers. Definitely, it's important. As far as home project goes, like I have a couple K-Series things I want to do. I'm trying to knock out, you know, like I said, I wanted my own K20 to be done by now, but that's not happening. So there was a bunch of hitches with Deshaun single cam, but hopefully that's all taken care of now. Updates on that, I guess, soon. If even, I don't know. I might not even talk about that. I might just be something I don't talk about at all. I don't know. But that's gonna be done this week. There was a taking this block down to put this block up, swap this thing around. It was just it was a headache, and stripping parts for things. But anyway, I'm just looking to. I have stopped everything else I was doing. Like I was initially, I was working on the single cam and then swapping off the stand to go for a K. But I don't know. Some of you guys have heard me mention before that I'm fucking aggravated. I hate having to reconfigure the claws for the K to a different family. So I'm just not. I stopped all my work on my personal shit until I could get the single cam done, because I don't want to have to swap back and forth. So there's a good chance that that whole long block will be done like in the next day or two. So get that done, and then I'm going back to doing my K. I think I'm going to finish up the K24, and that's all I can do on the personal side for right now until my K20 gets back from the fucking machine shop. So that's a whole other thing. I might look about going somewhere else, man. Even if I have to go, I think JBR is in Plant City or somewhere around the Tampa area. So that's always a possibility if their turnaround times are fast enough. I got family over there, so I can make a trip of it. It's not a big deal. But the only thing that sucks, man, for me, like, so if one of you guys or somebody locally orders a rebuild and they want their fucking shit bored over, that is a big turnaround time. That's a long wait. That's fucking, we're at 3 weeks going into a month. I don't expect to hear from them anytime soon. It's fucking crazy, man. So what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm actually all finally willing to spend the money to fucking bore over, man, and and I'm gonna have to for the B series for the Trauma Pistons, because they're 81.5. That's the next B series I'm gonna do for myself is gonna be that, and that means, well, I guess the only good thing on that front is that I still got the 2K series things that I'm dealing with. My K24 that I want to put into an older chassis for boost, the stock boost, and then there's the my K20 I'm dealing with that I'm waiting for already from them. So there's those two I got to deal with first before I do that. But the damn dude, like I'm ready to hop over to to a B18 block, like with the quickness. I have the crank, I have the pistons, and I have rods that I could use too. So man, dude, like now I gotta worry about like how much time the fucking machine shop's gonna take. But I don't know. Hopefully, when I get my K20 back from them, then I guess I'll reevaluate what I'm gonna do. Fuck, I might even go balls out, and I might just send the B18 to fucking to Jeff and get the CNC works done and go all out with that. That might be something I do for a like big boy boost there. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, like I said, I've only ever had to do small jobs with the machine shop before, so they've never taken longer than a week for like the simple stuff. But man, waiting for the block to get bored over is fucking, that's nuts. I think that yeah, Jeff, when he sent me when I did my block with him, that GSR was a B18 I had he did the CSS on for the Integra, and I think that was a 3-week turnaround, and that was fucking shipped out, man. And they did that one on the house for me. That's crazy. That this fucking I have now getting to the point where I'm about to push past the time I waited for my CSS to get done. That's crazy. It's just nuts. Anyway, guys, so I'm at the parking lot, 24 hours fitness again. Fucking like I did for the last video I did. I just wanted to say that I wanted to address my personal situation here, but without being weird about it. So I figured I'd do a live stream, so that way if anybody wanted to say anything, they could chime in. There's the opportunity. I didn't want to just film another video that was like this and throw it up there, because I don't want my uploads to get like that. So 4 months, wow, it sucks. So fucking that's a long fucking time. That's a long fucking time. 4 months. If this motherfucker, if they make me wait 2 months, I'm 100% going somewhere else. Even if I have to start spending the extra money to send my shit to Jeff, I'd rather do that than to fucking like try and save all money and do that. The only way I'm ever dropping, if it goes past 2 months with these dudes, and the only way I'm ever dropping a block of that machine shop again, if it's something just like it's the most casual thing, like, oh, that's whatever build, I'll just wait for it to come back whenever. But that's nuts. But fucking, so I do have content to do. The night that I said it depends on how long I get fast, I'll end up crashing. I fucking killed myself at the gym. I think I was close to being dehydrated, so I went to bed right away. The day after that, I did do work at home, and I was working till 4:30 in the fucking morning. So and of course that's not even finished yet. So that's why I haven't uploaded. Thank you, Mr. John. Appreciate that. Uh, so as far as like what H22, like for me to build one, I wouldn't mind, but it's just finding one. Like they do pop up from time to time, and they are relatively cheap, considering. But I think people sell them for like $500, and I'd say that's a pretty cheap thing. That's an affordable thing to do. But I don't want to spend $500 on an engine block right now. $500, nah, that's just not the commitment I'm willing to make. Especially not when I'm finally starting to get into that K series shit, and I'm happy for that. And also, I think the only thing that's gonna fuck me up for these K builds is gonna be the K Pro, because it's $1,000 commitment unless I find it used, and even finding it used is like $700. So when I'm thinking about building spending $500 on a long block, I'd rather be buying engine management. Yep. Oh fuck, $97, man. Rhode Island. Oh, you live in Rhode Island? Might be in that area sometime again next year. Probably going to be in that area sometime again next year. I don't know if you were around the channel when I was talking about H-Day and the last time I went. I think that was New Hampshire, right? And there's a guy that I wanted, that I'm cool with on Facebook that I met through YouTube. That's an ex-fighter and shit that lives up in the Rhode Island area, and I want to get him for a podcast. That would be a fucking fun one. Plus, I want to go chill with the guy. So, despite my wife's protest, I'm going to be doing that next year. It's crazy. Like, this year's already fucking, it's pretty much, I'm like one toe into 2020 at this point. That's how far I'm planning ahead. I think in the next couple of months, I have to start planning for 2020. I've already got one plan soft, but it's like personal. It's not for YouTube or anything that I'm going to be doing at the beginning of next year. But then I think at that point I got to start planning for what I'm doing, because Humble Performance is definitely happening next year. As the earlier, the sooner the better, actually. But I won't know exactly when I'm going to be planning. I guess kind of what I'm waiting for next year's trips to stop and wait for is some of these engines to come get done, and waiting for turnaround for these guys to get dyno numbers and shit. AEM is cheaper. How much is the AEM? I've never even looked at it. I don't even know. Damn. What was it? You did a complete rebuild and you only put 400? You need a bigger turbo. Yeah, and the shed thing is also something I've considered for a long time. But anyway, as far as another personal thing, all the paperwork for my house, $650. Damn, that's a whole lot better. $650. I gotta look into that, dude. James, like, you should DM me on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Send me a DM. I'd like to. I want to remember that. So shed is something I thought about doing, buying one of those really big sheds and putting in my backyard. But now that I'm going to actually own this thing, and it's looking like everything's falling that place, everything's all, I think we're just getting ready for the appraisal soon and the inspections or whatnot before we start moving into finalizing it. So as long as we don't have any hiccups, this looks like we're going to be homeowners, and then I'm going to start making modifications. That way I can, and the very first thing I'm going to do is make the changes I need to the house to, $6,000. That's expensive. So the first thing I want to do is make the modification to accommodate my engines. Like, I need to be able to put my engines out of my house. Well, yeah. That's gonna be fun. I'd like to go back and eventually talk some more H stuff. I would imagine that it's only a matter of time before I meet Kyle from over the Boosted Boys and shit. So I think that when I run into him, we're gonna talk some stuff about that, and then maybe I can start looking at H's a little bit more. That's just right now I got so much shit that I have planned out that it's hard to move away from the DB and K, because I still have my Vitara short block that I would like to do something with. And but it's just the pecking order of things. And honestly, it's, I don't know, maybe it's, it might be that I'm not looking hard enough or whatnot, but it seemed like there for a while, man, there was a lot of shells in the market, which was making me a lot more confident, thinking I could trade out a long block for it. But then it seemed to go away. It seems recently, the past month, every time I've jumped on the Facebook market to look, and like in the Facebook groups that like buy, sell Hondas or whatnot, every time I look at the groups, man, it just seems like they're like super high priced fucking shells. Like people that have, gone to Mako, thrown a $200 paint job on a shell, and they're like, oh, 1,200. Like, that's crazy, man. Give me the $500 shitbox rollers, then I can do that. Well, I start stacking up on shells, that'll probably motivate me a little bit more to get the swaps together. Yeah, I feel you on that, John, dude. Like, that's what I'm in. My plans at the end of, was it March, April, May, June? Oh, my plans at the end of June drastically changed over the course of July, and now here I'm in August. But I'm happy enough that it only took me a month to get back to the point where I was where I'm comfortable, like where like that $1,000 baseline. Like, I want to have a minimum of $1,000 at all times with bills paid. Like, my bills are being paid, still have $1,000. Like, as paid $1,400 for rent, still have $1,000. That's what I wanted to get back to. And I fucked myself up because I spent way too much money at the beginning of the month. The Booster Boys seems to be like a very polarizing group of guys, or ex group of guys, that you either love them or you hate them. I think I'm on a more neutral footing. Like, I don't love or hate, but that's just because I don't have enough time to watch YouTube like a lot of people. Or, I'm not saying like a lot of people, but I don't have the time to watch that channel in particular. Like, my days are so crammed full of shit that the only way I can see me living a more normal life where I can do things like that is maybe if my schedule changes where I can, be at home with my wife more often. Because the fact that is like, I'm working out and working, and during the week so much that I don't really have a lot of free time. My free time is like between 2 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the morning. So of course everybody's naturally asleep. And then so on the weekends when I'm having my time off, I have to balance that between, being with the family and doing projects and shit. Like, I was joking last week. I told my wife, I was like, you need a vacation. She's like, why? And I'm like, you need a vacation and you need to get the fuck out of here. I was like, I need a vacation too. I need a vacation where you leave. I was like, because my wife and my kids are around. My kids are like, they're fucking kids, so they're clingy as shit too. And my wife's pretty clingy. During the week, we can easily burn an afternoon just laying on top of each other talking, because we're catching up on the shit throughout the week. We don't have much time to talk. And same thing with the kids, they're extra as fuck. So anytime they think they can get me to play or something, they'll be all over me. So, and that makes me like lazy. That makes me like, I don't want to do anything except just hang out. So that takes away from time working. So, I think if I had more time to chill with my wife and kids during the weekdays, then when the weekends came, there would be no debate about me being lazy or whatnot. It would just be like, go fucking work, go work on your personal shit. So it's always that balance, man, where I'm always trying to balance out things, and that's why I'm, even on the weekends, I still only work late at night because I'm waiting for my kids and my wife to go to sleep. So. And I was like, yeah, take a vacation, get the fuck out of here, and then I can take a vacation from work, and then I'll just stay home and work, and easier. Yeah, I wish I had that baller money. I wish if I was making, fuck 15,000 away. If I was making an extra $65,000 a year, I would just send my wife to the Philippines. Like, she's Filipino. For those of y'all who don't know, that's where she's from. I'd just send her to the fucking Philippines with the kids and like go fucking chill for a month and let me home, so I can actually get like a lot of work done. That would be fucking, that'd be great. So that's the one thing, man. That's what they tell you when you're young and you don't have a family. You work on your passions, then work on your career and stuff, then, because it's easier to get things done like that. But once you have a kid, and you have a wife, it's just it eats away at your time, because naturally, hopefully, if you love your family, you want to spend time with them. So it's being a busybody it can be a fucking hard thing when you live the kind of flip-flop schedule that I live with my wife and kids. On that note, I don't know 100% now, but I don't know. It's one of those things. I guess if it comes up, I'll probably take it. But the parts lady is leaving soon. The chick that works parts in the shop, and her schedule is like 8 to 4:30, and my wife's gonna be working 4 in the morning to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Our biggest thing is having a parent there to put the kids on the bus and a parent there to take the kids off the bus. So if she fucking leaves, I might take her spot if it's offered to me. Just it'll get me off the floor, off of maintenance, and it'll get me in a chair in the office again to do easy work, and the schedule will work up so that way I'll be awake in the morning, do my run, put the kids on the school bus, and then my wife can get them off when she's off work at 1, and then a couple hours later I come home, and then possibly that schedule change could fix that personal problem there. Well, that's cool. Uh, what do you mean, like as far as like the clocking of the distributor? As far as like advancing and and decreasing timing or whatnot, I've never really fucked with that. I just stick it on there and let the tuner do it. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't like play with the particulars. Like there's a lot of times that people ask me about degree cams or whatnot. I was like, well, first off, I don't use aftermarket cam gears or camshafts. I mean, not that I would never. Not that I never would. It's just that I have not got to that point yet where I've done a build where I'm doing cams. So as far as degree cams just like that, I've never done it. And even as far as like using aftermarket cam gears, like that's one of those things that I would just leave it for the tuner to fuck with. I wouldn't even try to get on there and try to fucking change the overlap or whatnot. Just set it to whatever the baseline is, and then if the tuner wants to fuck with it, they fuck with it. And from what I've seen and heard from a lot of people, most of them, most time they don't even bother. So I think a lot of times the aftermarket cam gears, when you're just running aftermarket cam gears alone, there are people just running it for show over the actual functionality and performance. Yeah, so for by that means too, that's why I constantly remind people that I'm not an all knowing guru. I mean, like when I know something, that I will be very firm on something like, hey, I'm very well aware of this, but there's a lot of things out there that I still don't know yet. There's still a lot of learning I have to do, and I'm gonna learn in the process. Like that's also the reason why I want to get to know all these fucking guys that are professionals and been doing it for a long time. As far as when it comes time for racing and shit, like drag racing, like another reason why I want to wait and hold off to go to Humble is because they race all the time too, man, and I really want to go out there and learn everything, like everything that I can. I want to make that a good learning experience, not just a hi, hello, I'm here. Like I really want to go out there and watch these guys in action and shit too. That's gonna, I'm really looking forward to that. So I want to make sure I don't waste that trip. I mean, not saying that I don't want to make multiple trips out to Humble Performance, but I just got to be realistic about it too. Like I'm okay with flying a couple times a year to go do the business thing, but at the same time, I don't want to get too crazy with spending the fucking money just flying everywhere, because not that I can't afford the flights or whatnot. It's just that that's every time I'm doing that, that's money I'm taking away from things I could be doing at the house. That's money I could be taking away from buying a potential shell, another project, or buying pistons or rods for another engine or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know if I'll probably do another 3 flights again next year, because I imagine that my personal one I'm going to take, and then I'm going to go to Humble Performance for sure, and then I can imagine me flying out for one more thing. I don't have a plan for one more thing, but if something comes up, I'll take the opportunity to go. So yeah, there's that. All right, guys. So yeah, so I'm running about 30 minutes here, and I have to be awake at like 6:30 in the fucking morning. It's a retarded schedule. I get off of work at 9 o'clock. Got to be back to work the next morning at 6:30. So I gotta get this workout in. I figured I'd give my fucking workout buddy. He's got time to get here. He's running behind, but he's just got to do it on his own time. I'm gonna have to catch up later or whatnot. So I'm gonna take off here. Thanks guys for watching, and I will have some content for y'all this weekend, and it'll be more than one upload. I just probably not tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm gonna be knocked out most likely. I'll watch the fights, and then I'm going to be unconscious for the rest of the time. But Sunday night at the latest I'll probably have something new. Alright guys, so thanks again for watching and sticking around. Peace.